Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is January 11th, 2022. And I have an update for you guys. Very important information we are going to cover. I've got everything here. I hope this is not too much in one screenshot. If you can watch this on a tablet or a computer, you're going to be much better off to get a full screen shot of this and to be able to see this all clearly on a phone. This is going to be more difficult and more limited as to your ability to follow all of what is being shared here. I put all of this together in one screenshot. Please try to watch this on a tablet or a computer. Okay. All right. Now, let us talk about this entire week. Okay. This entire week that we have been seeing from January 7th and 8th, January 8th and 9th, as we were watching leading up to the beginning of this week, when we were looking at the 1,335 days from Israel's 70th birthday and the 2,300 days from Obama's meeting at the White House with Pope Francis. Okay, so what happened as we were watching January 8th and January 9th, we come up to that day. And over here on the left here, okay, on this day, we're going to see this is day 1,335. It's day 2,300. Then we have Obama giving the eulogy at Harry Reid's funeral. All right. Now, if you've not seen the video about Barack Obama and the eulogy that he gave, and he mentions that Harry Reid, after a meal, gave him a kiss on the cheek. Now, he listed out 12 people that were at the meal. It was him and Michelle and 5 more couples. Okay, there were 6 couples. So there were 12 people at the meal, and then after the meal, Harry Reid came up to him and gave him some words and got everybody's attention and then kissed Obama on the cheek. Okay, so this is a definite Last Supper reenactment, blasphemy copy. Okay, it was the Last Supper, and this is what he shared about on January 7th and January 8th at the eulogy of Harry Reid. Okay, then we have 3 days later. 2 to 3 days later is this abomination that takes place, and the first time in history we have a pig heart being placed in a man. Okay, the heart of a pig transplanted into a man. Okay, now if we look at the actual definition of when you see the abomination of desolation, okay, now I'm sharing with you tonight that this sign here is something that Jesus mentions very specifically that we should look for, and this, the way it's playing out, I'm showing you, okay, the abomination that causes desolation. When you see this, all right, now the original abomination that took place in the time of Antiochus, in the time of the Maccabees, was when he put an altar of Zeus in the temple of God and sacrificed pigs on the altar of God. Okay, on the altar of Zeus in the temple of God, he sacrificed pigs, and this was the abomination of desolation. And this began, okay, the 3 years of persecution that happened during the time of the Maccabees. There was 3 years of persecution. It was 3 years later, okay, that the that the temple was rededicated, that they won the battle against the Syrian armies. Okay? And they took back the temple and they recaptured Jerusalem, and they ran the Syrians out of town after 3 years. But there was a 3-year battle, and everybody was fleeing to the mountains during this time. Well, the abomination was a pig on the altar in the temple of God. Okay, so we are the temple of God. All right, we are the temple of God, and our heart is the Holy of Holies. Our heart is the altar. Okay, so by conjoining a pig heart in the heart of a man, all right, we have here an abomination before God. This is an abomination. Pigs are unclean animals. Yes, we are allowed now in the New Testament, okay, to eat. You know, if people want to eat pork, they can. And God has cleansed all of these animals and these foods, okay, as long as they're not sacrificed to idols. Okay, and even in the New Testament and in the Gospels, Jesus cast out the demons and he sent them into pigs. Okay, so this is an unclean animal from the beginning. It was an unclean animal. All right. Well, this is a midweek sign here. Okay, from the beginning of this week. And this is a midweek sign. And then we have this end of this week is going to be the 13th and the 14th. And now here is this end connection. When we look at the 2300 days and the 1335 days, we were watching Israel's 70th birthday as May 14th, 2018. And we were watching Obama and Pope Francis at the White House on September 23rd, 2015. Okay, but take both of those days and add 5 days to that. Okay, add 5 days to that, and you come to May 19th, 2018. May 19th, right here, is Pentecost. Okay. And if you add 5 days to Obama's meeting with Pope Francis, you come to the final blood moon. Okay, so you've got these two markers here: Israel's 70th Pentecost and the final blood moon of the Tetrad. And from this day, from the 70th Pentecost of Israel, Israel's 70th Pentecost, you go forward 1,335 days, and we come to January 13th. And if we come from the final blood moon of the Tetrad, September 28th, 2015, we come to January 13th, 2022. Okay. Now, I want to connect something else to you that we've been talking about the death of Ariel Sharon and how this is connected to January 13th. Ariel Sharon, okay. I shared one message completely about this, and then I've shared about this, giving an overview of this in my most recent videos also. So I just want to go over this again with you. Ariel Sharon died on January 11th, 2014. Okay, that's 8 years ago from today. January 11th, 2014, 8 years ago today to January 11th, 2022. But he was buried on January 13th, okay, 2 days later. On the day he was buried, okay, there was an earthquake, a 3.5 earthquake that shook northern Israel as former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon is laid to rest, okay. Joe Biden actually was one of the speakers at Ariel Sharon's funeral. Very interesting that now, okay, January 13th, we're seeing Joe Biden is the president now of the United States. He was the one who gave the eulogy at Ariel Sharon's funeral. Okay, so during the funeral here, on January 13th, 2022, there was an earthquake, a 3.5 earthquake, and that's a mid-tribulation sign. It's a sign of the rapture and the 3.5 year Great Tribulation. As it says, the Antichrist will be given power to continue for 42 months. Okay, 42 months. It's not 84 months. Okay, it's not 7 years of the reign of the Antichrist. It's only 3.5 years. Okay, for those who cannot see that we are at the arrival of the Antichrist, he will be revealed as soon as rapture happens and manifested. I don't know what to say to those people who simply can't see clearly where we really are. Okay, we are here right now. The Antichrist is ready to be revealed fully and manifested. Okay, he has already been revealed, but he has not been manifested yet. Okay, well, anyway, Ariel Sharon. Now here's this very important detail, and we're going to connect this with something else, and you're going to see how important this Hawaii alert was that happened in 2018 on January 13th. Okay, but let's take a look at Ariel Sharon. Now, before he died, he went into a coma on January 4th, 2006. No, I'm sorry. Yes, 2006. January 4th, 2006. He died on January 11th, 2014. And he was buried on January 13th, 2022. Well, it turns out that including the last day, including the day of his death, from the day he went into a coma on January 4th, 2006, he was in a coma for 8 hours and 8 days, okay? So there's a serious connection with Ariel Sharon and the number 8 when you consider that he was in a coma for 8 years and 8 days, okay? This is a very biblical number, and it's a direct connection to the Messiah, Jesus Christ. 88, okay? Now, it was also prophesied about Ariel Sharon that his death would be a part of the coming of the Messiah. Rabbi Kaduri prophesied that the Messiah would not come until Ariel Sharon had passed away. Now, in other words, Ariel Sharon is going to have some type of a connection to the coming of the Messiah. All right. Well, the Messiah's number is 88, and Ariel Sharon was in a coma for 8 years and 8 days, and it was on January 13th that he was buried. Okay. Now, like I said, there was an earthquake in Israel on the day. It was felt at the funeral of Ariel Sharon. Earthquake shakes northern Israel as former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon is laid to rest. Okay, so we've got this marker. There's this important event taking place. We're in Israel, and this important event is taking place. This important man that is a sign is being laid to rest, and there's an earthquake, so the ground is shaking, and there's a sign. This is a marker, the burial of Ariel Sharon. Okay, now I want to go. Now, if you consider this, okay, January 13th, 2014, when Ariel Sharon was laid to rest, to January 13th, 2022 is 8 years. Okay? 8 years exactly to the day. Now, what would be the halfway marker? The halfway marker, exactly. The middle day in between the 8 years would be January 13th, 2018. Now, here is the day down here on the right, on the bottom right. This is a day that over Hawaii, there was an emergency alert that was sent out. A ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. Earlier today, I watched a video that Jim Carrey got interviewed by Jimmy Fallon, and Jim Carrey was actually at Hawaii, in Hawaii, on the day of this, and he had to go, ended up on the edge of the beach, just like the movie Deep Impact, when they were gonna, they knew they were gonna die at the end of the movie, and they just went there at the beach, and he said he went to make his peace, not with God, but to make his peace with himself and to understand that his life was over. He expected to die. Jim Carrey said in this interview that he expected to die. This was a panic that was sent throughout all of Hawaii because this alert went out and said the ballistic missile threat is inbound. This is not a drill. Seek immediate shelter. Everybody was running for their lives and they thought they were all going to die. Okay, well, it turns out that this alert, okay, look at the time here. All right. This is the time the alert was sent out. At 8 in the morning with 8 minutes. 8:08. Okay. Now, what did we just say about Ariel Sharon? Okay, he was in a coma for 8 years and 8 days. All right, 8 years and 8 days, and now from January 13th to 2014 to January 13th, 2022, we have 8 years, and this is the middle marker, and it's marked by 8/8. Now, there's another connection to this. There's another connection to this, and if you go, okay, here's the day. Here's the day of January 13th, 2018. This is the day that this alert came. Okay. What is the Torah reading for the day, for the week beginning on Saturday, okay, June 13th? What's the Torah reading? Bo. Parashat Bo, okay? This is the marker right here on this Saturday, January 13th. This is the beginning marker that is Bo. Okay, we've talked about this. We were sharing about this right here. Remember at the beginning of this week, January 7th, January 8th is Bo. Bo knows. Okay, now the way that Torah calendar works, the way the Hebrew calendar and the Torah calendar works, is they have Torah readings that they go from week to week. Okay, they don't have Torah readings every day, but what they would do is they give out the Torah readings for the week, and then people have their whole week to get up to date. If you want to read through the whole Torah, okay, if you want to follow the Hebrew calendar and read through the whole Torah, they have it set up so that everybody can follow along, and through the course of a year, they're going to read the whole Torah, the entire Old Testament. Okay. It's all part of the Hebrew calendar, all part of the Torah calendar. And so we were watching the beginning of this week that was Bo. Bo knows, and how it's all connected. B.O. Barack Obama. Barack Obama had a dog named Bo. Then we had this information about Bo Jackson, 2022. Bo knows. And we had all of this that we were connecting. There was a lot of details about that. I can't even remember now, but we've shared about that extensively in our previous videos. Well, as I looked up this day on the Hebrew calendar, it really, just number one, it's a Saturday, and all of the Torah readings are given out on the Sabbath. Okay, so this day here marks this day here, this 27th of Tevet. This day here, January 13th, 2018, marks January 7th and January 8th. this year. Bo. Okay? So we're in the week of Bo. We're in the week of Bo. From January 7th to January 14th, this is the week of Bo. All right? And so we have here this midweek. In this week of Bo, we have this midweek abomination. And the whole week started out in high watch based on the 1,335 days, based on the 2,300 days, and then we have this blasphemy that takes place, and Barack Obama tells us about this kiss that he receives after a meal with 12 people late at night after the meal was over. Okay, you see, I mean, there's no getting around who this guy is and everything he says, what he's trying to show. Okay, Judas signaled the Messiah with a kiss. They needed to know, who is the Messiah? Who is the one that we are going to arrest? And Judas kissed Jesus and signaled him as the Messiah. Well, this is what happened with Reid. He kissed Barack Obama after a meal, said, "I love this guy," and gave him a kiss. And he wanted everybody to see it and everybody to know. And so this was the beginning of the week. Then we have this abomination. Now, in the middle of this, in the same day, we have the news coming out after the Venus conjunction happened on January 8th and January 9th. January 10th, the news was already coming out that Venus, the morning star, was already rising and could already be seen. You know, we thought we might have to wait till January 11th, January 12th, but no, it became visible on January 10th. See how this is connected? The rising of the morning star connected with this abomination takes place right here in the middle of this week. Well, anyway, I've shared all of this information with you. Okay, I've shared all of this information with you. I've shown you how it's all connected to Ariel Sharon and his death and burial on January 11th through January 13th. How it's connected by 8 years and 8 days of his coma. Then we have 8 years exactly to the day from his burial to this year, January 13th, 2022. How it's connected by the midweek sign of this alert in Hawaii, okay? This is the state of Barack Obama. This alert came together with Bo, okay? Hawaii is the state of Barack Obama. And this alert came together with the calendar that says Bo, B-O, Barack Obama. And this whole deal with 808, how this is connected also to this whole understanding of the 8 years, 8 days, another 8 years, and the time of this alert that happened over Hawaii. Okay, now all of this, if you want one thing to take away, okay, and beyond everything else, I mean, all of this is together as supporting information. But I'm showing you this day right here, January 13th and 14th. I'm showing you this day right here. Why now, finally, I believe this is the day. I mean, we are looking, we are searching, we are hoping to understand. God is giving us understanding piece by piece. But we needed to see here. I was watching here. I was watching January 8th and 9th. Something happened seriously out of place, seriously wrong with this announcement that Barack Obama had received a kiss on the cheek by Reid. So this right here gives us the understanding. We're on track. We are watching correctly. We're seeing another day, exactly on the day that we're watching. Here is this huge sign that is coming. then we had no idea that this would come. I mean, who in their right mind would ever know and understand that exactly right here? See, January 10th, this abomination that is being set up, a pig heart in the temple of God in man. Okay? This is the first time in history this has ever been done. Okay? This is a perfect representation of the abomination of desolation. Pig being sacrificed on the altar of God in the temple of God. The heart of man is the Holy of Holies. It's the altar where God's presence dwells. Okay? Then we have this day. Now this day, I mean, if you're going to look for two signs, I mean, we're going to see this last blood moon of the tetrad, okay? September 28th, 2015, this whole week, you had Obama at with Pope Francis at the White House. You had Pope Francis at the United Nations this week. You had Agenda 2030 that was set up between September 25th and 27th. And then you had the blood moon of September 28th, the super blood moon over Jerusalem, the last blood moon of the tetrad. Right here as a marker for the 2300 days. And then we look at Israel's 70th birthday, which was May 14th, but the prophecy of Daniel says 70 weeks are determined. Okay? The true understanding of weeks is Shavuot. 70 Shavuot. The Feast of Weeks, Shavuot means what week? The Feast of Shavuot. It's 70 Shavuots. Okay? So the 70th Shavuot of Israel, May 19th, Shavuot, 1335 days. Okay, so I'm giving you two huge markers here. Israel's 70th Pentecost and the last blood moon of the tetrad. We have our connection now, 1,335 days, 2,300 days. And this is the reason why we didn't leave here, the beginning of the week, because this all needed to be revealed. We needed to understand this Judas kiss of the Antichrist, Barack Obama. We needed to see the abomination according to Jesus. When you see the abomination of desolation, according to the prophet Daniel, when you see a pig being sacrificed on the altar of God, okay? And this gives us the understanding of this week, bow, all connected to this Hawaii alert, all connected to this whole scenario of Ariel Sharon and the prophecy that was given. I mean, this isn't just us pulling something out of a hat. We have a prophecy that was given by Rabbi Kaduri, who was the rabbi who met the Messiah, who when he died left a letter giving us the name of the Messiah so that all the Jews could know that their Messiah was Yeshua. Jesus is the Messiah of the Jews. Jesus, Yeshua, is the Messiah. And he revealed this at his death through a letter that was read 1 year after he died. Rabbi Kaduri revealed. But he also had this prophecy about Ariel Sharon. Okay? That Ariel Sharon's death would be a marker for the coming of the Messiah. That the Messiah would not come until Ariel Sharon had passed away. And so we have his death and burial connected to all of this. January 13th, 2014, 8 years ago. Okay. So this is the day to watch. January 13th and 14th, this is 2,300 days from the final blood moon of the Tetrad, and it's 1,335 days from Israel's 70th Pentecost. Okay? I don't know if there's anything else I can add to this right now. We've gone over all of this, how this is connected to Bo, how it's connected to 8888. Biblically, the understanding of the number of days, these two huge markers, two major sites in Israel. Between this blood moon was over Jerusalem. Okay, the final blood moon of the Tetrad over Jerusalem, 70th Pentecost of Israel. I mean, what more do we need to see when the prophecy of Daniel says 70 weeks are determined? Okay, 70 weeks are determined. So, I mean, how could the final week not have begun in 2018 when they come to the end of the 70 weeks? And this is why over the last 3.5 years, because even on this week, the very week that Israel fulfilled the 70 weeks and the 70 years, they began planning what we're seeing throughout the world right now. The Clade X pandemic exercise was planned right here. I mean, this is where they planned it. And this is the beginning of the 1,335-day countdown, bringing us to the midweek abomination. And then we see exactly here this midweek abomination of a pig being sacrificed, placed in the heart of a man. Okay? The pig heart being transplanted into a human being. Okay? So, this is what I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to do all I can to share this everywhere, to get this word out. If we have arrived here with everything we are seeing, I mean, what more do we need to see now? What more could we expect? And we've already got the vaccine mandates going out all over the world. Italy, they're closing people's bank accounts if you don't have the vaccination. Everything you've worked your entire life for is lost if you don't get the vaccination. This is also happening in Australia. It's happening in the Philippines. So many places throughout the world are already seeing this. Maybe you're not seeing this in your location. Maybe you're in the United States and you're still seeing that your freedoms have not yet been stripped completely away. Well, just because you are still living with some sense of freedom does not mean this has already begun in many other places. Okay? We're absolutely in the tribulation. The Great Tribulation, there will be no more arguing. Once the Great Tribulation begins, everyone will know. There will be no denying when the wrath of God begins to fall, the fire of God begins to fall throughout the world, because the rapture took place and the restrainer has been removed, and the nuclear bombs are going to fly. They're ready. They're already preparing everything right now for the nuclear war. How close do we need to be to see where this is all going? Everything is going to go up in flames very, very soon. And all of these signs have led us to where we are now to see all of this. So I just wanted to share all of these signs with you and connect all of these dots to let you know that January 13th and 14th is the final fulfillment of the 2,300 days from Israel's final blood moon and from Israel's 70th Pentecost. Okay? Blessed is he who comes to the 1,335 days. I think this is it right here, and this is why I believe this could be the day, will be the day. I don't know. I mean, all I can do is share with you the signs. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I pray you guys are blessed tonight. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.